Hello everyone, Shadox here, and today I'm going to show you how the Akshan Infinite combo works. So I'll just try this out in an AI game, and it's going to be the Ionia Shurima version, although there's other versions out there, more commonly the PnZ Shurima. And so what you want to do here in the mall is you're just looking for Akshan, and we have tools like Rite of Calling that can help find that. So in this list I just play 1 Zilean and 3 Akshan. So this Rite of Calling, when I decide to play it, will eventually draw Akshan. So the way the combo works is you want to get Akshan's level 2 landmark, Warlord's Horde, and you want to copy the treasure, that Sentinel's Horde that comes from it. You want to copy it either with Promising Future to get 2 of them, or you want to copy it with a Zephyr Sage, both in your hand, and that way when you play 2 of them, you'll reduce the cost of all cards by 2, and you can win through many different ways, either through infinite time bombs, you can win through an infinite attack action. In the PnZ version, you can infinite burn or infinite mill them. And so here, since I didn't find the Akshan, I was still able to play the 3-drop, the Vagabond, to get the first landmark, so I can progress that while waiting to get the Akshan, which I'll find now. And so the reason here I target the Vagabond with the Rite of Calling instead of killing a mana gem is just so I can get the extra trigger on the landmark. And so now we play Akshan, and now it's just all about leveling him, popping the first landmark, getting him leveled. Speed it up here a bit. So we pretty much just play out our cards, try to survive until we can get the Horde out. And now that it's out, what we're looking for is a Promising Future so that we can double it to get 2 of them in hand. So the way going infinite works is once you have 2 fonts of power and everything's reduced twice, the Navori Conspirator counts as 0. So if we have 2 Navori Conspirator in hand, we can constantly bounce themselves over and over, since bouncing it counts as a target and it will advance the landmark 1 more ahead. So here's a turn where I'm going to, I don't have 2 Navori Conspirator, but I'm going to draw 6 cards and I have a high chance of finding it. Or sorry, 4 cards and I have a high chance of finding it. And if not, I can always try to pop the landmark again with the cards I have in my hand. So by doing so, I'll just bounce Akshan, play him again, get another landmark, and play out my hand to pop it again. By doing things like Clockwork Curator, recalling Akshan, recalling the Navori Conspirator, using Navori Conspirator to bounce Akshan for 1 trigger, then summon Akshan again for another trigger. And I'll just keep doing this over and over until I draw what I need. And all in the meantime, I'm also trying to empty my hand as best I can so that I have room for the turn that I get Solitary Monk, because Monk is also important, because Monk is what bounces the Navori Conspirator back to your hand to start the combo over again. So here you can see I found both of them. And now we can bounce that to bounce Zilean, Navori Conspirator, and Akshan to your hand. So if you want to go for the common win condition of Infinite Time Bomb, you play Zilean to load your deck with Time Bombs and predict whatever you need, usually just the Time Bomb. and then you will play Action to get the landmark if you don't have it, or to advance it if you do, because that is how you will constantly draw cards.
I do not break rules, I bend them slightly.
And then once you've played him and you have the landmark going, you play the Void Conspirators on themselves to constantly trigger the landmark. Then at the end, once you've triggered it, you play it on Solitary Monk to bounce the Monk, and then you play the Monk to get everything back and restart it again. So here you'll see I'll bounce Zilean to get one on the board.
There's always a way out.
And then here you see it started at 5, now it starts at 4. And then you just do this over and over until a landmark pops. Play Zilean, shuffle more time bombs in, and this is, so once you've reached the end of the combo, you bounce the Monk to start it all over again. So the other way that you can also win is by, instead of, you'll come to a point in time where you might not want to draw any more cards. So you can use the Sentinel's Horde instead to give your champions +2/+2 and spell shield. So you can constantly, you do the loop, but instead of drawing cards, you just give your champs +2/+2 forever. So you just infinitely do that, and then you just have one big swing with Akshan, usually, who's on the board, receiving the buffs, or Zilean. Another way you could, another thing you can also do is infinitely use Action spell to clear their board. Since every time you draw the spell, you can play it on a unit that they have. Because some versions don't actually play Zilean, they just play Action. So that's what they do. And then here we'll just speed it up some more, because this is just a cycle all over again of playing Zilean, playing Conspirator, playing Action, advancing the landmark, drawing cards over and over, until I find all the time bombs I need. And all in the meanwhile, I'm also trying to balance board space with hand space as well. So that's why I played the Eye of the Dragon there, is so I can replace it with Monk. Just get rid of some cards in hand. And as you can see, most of my deck is filled with time bombs now. And I can just end here and end the game. So yeah, the combo is really simple. You just basically need 2 Conspirator to go infinite. You need to find a Monk along the way. And you just need 2 Fonts of Power. Hope you enjoyed.